stunned world held its breath. Greatness is the chicken scratch guitar chords that bewitched the world. A new beat, Afrobeat, from Fela and now to Burna Boy, to Wizkid and Davido. It is the earthy Afro-pop of Asha. It's the compelling, beguiling Nigerian R&B of Tiwa and Teni, and the alternative sounds of Thames, Johnny Drill and Chike. Greatness is how our phenomenal artists are selling out arenas both home and abroad with tens of thousands of people showing up to experience the pulsations of this mysteriously sweet music. Greatness is Kunle Afolayan, Jadesola Oshiberu, Kemi Adetiba, Nazo Nuzo, hitting mind-boggling box office numbers, securing global film deals, and rallying communities. Not so long ago, content was just television, and now digital content is the new oil, with our skit makers, content creators, thought leaders, growing our digital economy. Greatness is Professors Kayode Oyewumi and Musa Yakubu, being listed among Elsevier BV's most productive scientists in the world. Greatness is Ethan Nwaneri at 15, becoming the world's youngest player in the English Premier League. Greatness is Abasi Enelbong, pioneering the inclusion of the African genome in research through 54 genes, and Aisha Tofa, building and nurturing a tech ecosystem through Startup Kano. Greatness is Amina Mohammed, championing the voice of global peace as we take a prominent place at the table. Greatness is Miracle Izochukwu, becoming the youngest female commercial pilot in North America. Greatness is Faith Odunsi, calculating her way to become the global mathematics champion.
To express 0.00.
2.4 times 10 is by minus 5.
Correct.
Greatness is the pantheon of Nigerian authors. Their stories, our stories, bringing the world into the magic, the pain, the triumphs of the Nigerian experience. Greatness is the unicorns, 6 companies created by Nigerians under 30 years old, now worth over $1 billion each. The stories, the people, Nigeria. Each of these stories of greatness across the globe has you in it, and it has me in it. And we can almost take them for granted. They are so Nigerian. Chimamanda talked about the danger of a single story, where negative stories are used to flatten an individual's experience and overlook the many other stories that formed them. We are our stories. We are not one story, and we must tell these stories to ourselves and to the world. Nigeria is not faceless. It's not an obscure concept or a dream hiding behind the waving of a green, white, green flag. Nigeria has a face. It has many faces. It has over 200 million faces. It has your face. It has my face. What is a dream without a dreamer? You are a hero in this great story. Your name hasn't been mentioned yet, but it will be. You haven't caught the headlines yet, but you will. Oh boy, you never blow yet, but you go soon blow. You know it. I know it. I know you won't stop trying. You won't stop trying. I know you won't ever give up. You know you won't ever give up. How do I know? I'm in Nigeria, and you are too. And we don't stop until we win.
My name is Akio Sakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Theo Bliss.
My name is Akava, go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out.
Rapid TV.
Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
This is Rapid TV.
Rapid
TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it meltdown.
Leave it like that.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Rapid TV News tonight. My name is Ugochukwu Madumere. In the headlines, Nigerians continue end bad governance protest march in Oyo, Rivers States. Southeast lawmakers petition IGP over Igbo Must Go campaign in Lagos. Nigeria spends $600 million on fuel importation monthly, Finance Minister. Hamas names alleged October 7 mastermind as new leader. Toby Amusa qualifies for 100 meters hurdles semis at Paris Olympics. Details of these and more will come to you in the bulletin right after now. Stay with us. The news in detail. Thousands of Nigerians continue to march in Oyo and Rivers States, marking day 7 of the nationwide End Bad Governance protest. The Take It Back movement shared images of large crowds in Ibadan and Port Harcourt, demanding action from the government to address the country's pressing issues. The protests show no sign of slowing down, with citizens voicing their discontent with the current state of affairs. In Ibadan, protesters gathered at the Agbowo UI area, while in Port Harcourt, they marched through major streets. Amnesty International reports that over 1,000 protesters are being held in prison custody across the country, with 632 in Kano State and 109 in Sokoto. Protests grip the nation for the 7th consecutive day as Nigerians vent their frustration over economic hardship, hunger, and disillusionment with the current state of affairs. In Abuja, the demonstrations have brought social and economic activities to a grinding halt, with workers hesitant to return to their jobs. Long queues at fuel stations have become a familiar sight as many stations remain shut. But amidst the chaos, citizens are sending a clear message to the president. Heed the people's demand and restore hope in the administration. In this report, our correspondent Irene Ugochukwu tells us more.
Today is the 7th day of the national protest, and we are here at the Federal Secretariat, whereby some workers have resumed work. On a normal day, cars are always parked here, but today we can just see few cars that are being parked to show you that most workers are afraid to resume work, and most of them have decided not to resume until the protest is over. Going around the town, there are some strategic places where security agencies are ensuring that they are being manned there, and there are some roads that are being blocked where cars have to divert to go to other places that they want to go to. Going to fuel stations, most fuel stations in the territory do not have fuel, and the ones who have fuel, there is a long queue in the fuel station. And roads everywhere town, it's scanty. You can just see few people going about their normal businesses. Some are just obstinate to resume work. We are going to be giving you updates depending on the time the protest comes to an end.
This protest, you see, is really affecting everyone in this country. Yes, because nothing is working now. As the process is going on, offices are not working, business are not moving, the money that the country is supposed to generate in these few days that the protest has been going on is not there. So a lot of things are going down. A lot of things are not working.
I called to resume duty this morning at the National Assembly. Surprisingly, we saw the whole place being militarized. The entrances almost has been sealed. I have no choice than to go back home. And I think so far so good. The period that this protest have lasted has really impacted the economy so badly. The federal government is losing revenue. And I think it's high time for those that are protesting to really embrace dialogue rather than engaging in more of these protests that we eventually be hijacked by hoodlums.
The whole Nigeria wants to do the protest, but the way the hoodlums hijack the protest, they make something look terrific, and they make people not to come out the way they're supposed to come.
Despite that, I'm not in support of the protest in the first instance. Why? Because of the consequences that may follow. As you can see, we have loss of lives, destruction of properties. Though they say that you can't achieve that level of development without such sacrifices. So for me, if there's a better way that we can follow to achieve what we are demanding, I think it will be better.
His speech is meaningless. It amounts to no speech because he didn't address one demand of the protesters. And secondly, in the speech, there was no anywhere in the speech that he acknowledged there was violence from the side of the security. So that's inconsiderate of him. And aside the fact he did not read the mood of the room because there is hunger everywhere. I'm sure the protest started peacefully, but yeah, we believe there are certain elements that hijack it and make it violent.
My name is Irene Okechukwu, reporting for Rapid TV News.
Meanwhile, organizers of the End Bad Governance protest have vowed to continue the agitation despite the deployment of security operatives to contain breakdown of law and order. Some of them said they would persist in their demands for change, gathering at the Moshood Abiola Stadium until the end of the 10-day protest. The organizers expressed frustration with the government's response to their demands, citing unmet promises and rising fuel prices. They criticized President Bola Tinubu's recent speech, saying it failed to address the protesters' concerns and emphasized the need for action, not just words, to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians. The protest has seen violent clashes with police, who have fired tear gas at demonstrators. Despite this, the organizers remain resolute, calling for an end to bad governance and demanding tangible changes, such as reducing the cost of governance and addressing unemployment. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, is currently briefing foreign diplomats on the ongoing End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria. The meeting aims to update the diplomatic community on the government's response to the protest and the measures being taken to address the concerns raised by demonstrators. Minister Tuga expressed the government's fears about the potential for violence and instability, citing the need for swift action to prevent further unrest. He assured the diplomats that President Bola Tinubu has engaged with stakeholders across all tiers of government to find solutions to the issues driving the protest. The minister's briefing comes as the protests enter their 7th day, with demonstrators demanding action on economic hardship, hunger and poor governance. The government has faced criticism for its response to the protest, with some accusing it of using heavy-handed tactics to suppress the demonstrations. The Chief of Defense Staff of ECOWAS member states met in Abuja, chaired by Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. The meeting aims to address regional security concerns, including the recent military coups in Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali. Attendees include defense ministers, senators and service chiefs from ECOWAS countries, except for the 3 nations affected by military takeovers. General Musa emphasized the need for defense chiefs to uphold democratic values, citing the negative consequences of military coups in the region. He urged the gathering to leverage collective efforts, share intelligence and coordinate across borders to address security challenges. The meeting's agenda focuses on critical areas including counter-terrorism and peace support operations. The ECOWAS defense chiefs are discussing key issues such as the proposed Air Force security support mission in Sierra Leone and the activation of the Air Force standby force against terrorism. General Musa stressed the importance of collaboration and sharing experiences to support their shared mission. The meeting seeks to prevent further coups and ensure peace and sustainable development for citizens in West Africa. Southeast lawmakers have petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, over the Igbo Must Go campaign, which they describe as a hate campaign. The campaign, which went viral on social media, called for Nigerians of Southeast extraction to leave Lagos and other Southwest states. The lawmakers, led by Senator Eyinaya Abaribe and Igariwe Enwo, are demanding that the sponsors of the campaign be identified and prosecuted. The campaign sparked widespread outrage on social media, with many condemning the divisive rhetoric. The Lagos State government has distanced itself from the campaign, emphasizing that it strongly disavows the inflammatory rhetoric. However, the lawmakers are concerned that the campaign may lead to violence and instability and are urging the police to take action. The petition cites constitutional provisions that guarantee the right to free movement and residence in any part of Nigeria. The lawmakers argue that the Igbo Must Go campaign contravenes these provisions and must be held accountable. They are calling on the police to identify the owner of the social media handle that promoted the campaign and to take swift action to prevent further unrest. As petroleum marketers in Umuahia adjust pump prices, transporters are passing the burden to commuters, hiking fares across inter- and intrastate routes. The surge in fuel costs has led many private car owners to opt for commercial transport, seeking to cut expenses. Our correspondent, Uluwapelumi King, has been investigating the impact of this price adjustment and reports from the ground.
Umuahia residents and commercial keke drivers are feeling the pinch of the recent surge in fuel prices. The price hike, which appears unending, has significantly impacted daily life and transportation costs. Keke drivers, who rely heavily on fuel for their livelihood, stated that they were compelled to increase transportation fees to mitigate the effects of the fuel increase. He also noted that the increase in fuel prices has reduced the amount of fuel they are able to purchase.
When Buhari there for government, I bought for you with this again. I take you 800 naira, and if I can't go you 800 naira for it. But now I want to buy for a year now 1,900. You know, it take me to anywhere. Even if I carry one person go ECK, come back. Within 1 hour, before I reach ECK, come back. It's finished. No cane inside for me. So I know I'll be for government, Nigeria government today. Make me and try to do something well.
My business, you can see I'm using keke as supporting my work. So the cost of fuel is very, very high. If I buy fuel of 2,000 naira, I cannot realize 2,000 naira I use and bought the fuel. So it's affecting everything. Some people use this leg to go where they are going to. There's no money to enter bus or keke. And the fuel and the things in the market are very, very high. Because of the fuel, the cost of the fuel affects products in the market. When the transporter buy fuel and they carry it in the car, the seller will increase their sale price.
Residents already grappling with economic challenges also expressed their discontent and frustration. Many voiced their concerns, citing the added financial strain it has brought on them.
For both food items, for people where they go inside bush market, they buy fuel, buy food items, then they sell at cost price due to the fuel price. If do the Buhari, the fuel is at least the cost of fuel is normal.
It's so devastating. It's not what one can explain. The high cost of fuel is way out of it because everybody is complaining. With 10,000 naira, you can get 11 liters of fuel. So you can imagine if you have over 100 kilometers to cover in driving, it doesn't take you anywhere. So from Umuahia to Aba, you've got to spend like 25,000 naira fuel. Taking away the subsidy the way and manner it was done was not helpful. Bringing it back is equally not helpful, but the present condition of life, we can't ask for anything better. That's just it. We can't ask for anything better than for a better economy. However it's going to be done, it has to be done.
Recent data from the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics indicates that fuel prices are surged by 223.21% in 1 year, increasing the cost of living for many Nigerians. SB Margin Intelligence, a geopolitical research firm, also reports a correlating spike in transportation costs, stating that the average amount Nigerians spend on transportation has risen by 77%. In Umuahia, the impact is palpable as residents and keke drivers alike bear the brunt of these increases. As the community contends with these economic challenges, there's a growing call for government intervention to stabilize fuel prices and provide relief. Uluwapelumi King Adeniyi reporting for Rapid Television.
The House of Representatives has clarified its decision to dissolve the Joint Committee investigating infractions in the oil and gas sector citing the need for efficacy, independence, and effectiveness in the investigation. The House spokesman, Honorable Akintunde Rotimi, dismissed allegations of infighting between the Speaker and Deputy Speaker, as well as claims of inducement for the appointment of a committee chairman. The House leadership emphasized its right to disband or dissolve ad hoc committees as needed, citing Section 60 of the 1999 Constitution. They also denied receiving inducements for committee appointments, stating that assignments were diligently executed by the Selection Committee between June and July 2023. The House of Representatives urged the public to disregard speculations and falsehoods in the media, emphasizing its open-door policy and willingness to verify facts with the appropriate quarters. The leadership assured that there is no rift between the Speaker and Deputy Speaker, and they enjoy a robust and cordial relationship. Senator Ali Ndume, representing Borno South, has apologized to the All Progressives Congress APC for his recent comments criticizing President Bola Tinubu's administration. However, Ndume stands by his words, stating that they were made out of patriotism. He had alleged that the president was being held captive by forces in the presidential villa and was running a solo government despite widespread hunger. Ndume's comments led to his removal as the chief whip of the Senate and from his committee. He met with the APC national chairman of the party secretariat to discuss his removal and apologized for not speaking to the party before making his comments public. Ndume emphasized his commitment to the APC, stating that he has not been expelled and considers the party his family. He acknowledged that his comments may have been strong, but maintained that they were true and made out of concern for the country. Troops of the Nigerian Army have destroyed several illegal oil refining sites in Rivers and Bayelsa states in the Niger Delta region. The operation, conducted by the Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe, aimed to curb illegal refining activities in the area. In Rivers State, troops identified and destroyed 3 illegal refining sites, confiscating over 30,000 liters of stolen and illegally refined products. Additionally, they discovered and destroyed an illegal refining site, receivers and connecting pipes used to convey stolen crude to illegal refining sites. In Bayelsa State, troops confiscated over 12,000 liters of stolen and illegally refined products, along with equipment used for illegal refining, including a fiber boat, ovens, metal drums, and storage facilities. The operation is part of efforts to tackle illegal oil refining and related activities in the Niger Delta region. Medical doctors in Ogun State have begun an indefinite strike over unresolved issues concerning their allowances. The strike, which started on Tuesday, is centered on the pay disparity between federal and state medical workers. According to the chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association in Ogun State, Dr. Kunle Ashimi, the strike is a result of the state government's failure to implement the reviewed Consolidated Medical Salary Structure, CONMES. He emphasized that this has led to a daily exodus of medical professionals from the state. Dr. Ashimi urged the state government to address the pay disparity, stating that implementing the reviewed CONMES would encourage doctors to stay in the state. He expressed concerns about the impact of the strike on healthcare services in Ogun State, highlighting the need for a prompt resolution to the dispute. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has rescued and returned 4,877 Nigerian victims of human trafficking since 2017. The returnees, mostly women and girls, were brought back under the IOM's Assisted Voluntary Return and Reintegration Program. In the first quarter of 2024 alone, 167 Nigerians victims were returned to Nigeria, with 81% being female. The data shows that most victims fall within the age bracket of 18 to 39 years, with those aged 18 to 25 being particularly susceptible to recruitment by traffickers. Economic instability was the primary reason for irregular migration, with 94% of victims citing the search for better economic opportunities as their motivation. The IOM has partnered with various actors to provide reintegration support to victims, with 3,122, 67% successfully reintegrated into their communities. The returnees received assistance ranging from medical care to vocational training aimed at fostering their economic independence and resilience. The IOM's efforts aim to address the root causes of human trafficking and support victims in rebuilding their lives. The National Summit on Mass Atrocities is underway in Abuja, Nigeria, bringing together stakeholders to address the growing concern of violence and human rights abuses in the country. Our correspondent, Irene Okechukwu, has more.
The two-day summit, themed "A Standing Responsibility to Protect," aims to analyze the government fulfillment of its responsibility to protect citizens and explore ways to prevent and mitigate mass atrocities.
We are working with the United Nations also to see how we can provide some basic facilities like educational facilities, like water, and so on and so forth. And we also encourage the law enforcement agents to come back and occupy the space, because there is need for constituted authority to return in those communities, so that the schools are working, the courts are working, the police stations are working, and so on and so forth.
The summit also seeks to examine technological and policy innovations for monitoring and preventing mass atrocities. According to the Executive Director of Cesar Empowerment Initiative, E.R. Jonathan Ishaba, the summit aims to address the causes and challenges posed by the various forms of mass atrocities in Nigeria and provide solutions.
This summit is here to share those experiences, to talk about those things, to delve deeply into the issues. We have issues of displacement. How can we stop these violent attacks? How can we deal with terror attacks? And also support victims who are going through trauma. So we expect that we'll be able to prefer more solutions, find a way to engage. Thankfully, we have partners. We've had some government agencies speak here, as you saw them today, and we can really engage and really begin to prefer more solutions and continue to prefer solutions.
Civil society actors are also called on those in governance to take action. Rasajani Awal, founder of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, has this to say.
Is to help bring the attention to government, so that if government is not aware about the quantum or the large number of Nigerians that are on daily basis are facing atrocities either by state or non-state actors, it is a good opportunity for government to take careful analysis and review on bring out strategy that can curb or minimize the incidences that we are facing.
The National Summit on Mass Atrocity brings stakeholders together and expected to provide recommendations for policymakers and civil society actors. From Abuja, Irene Okechukwu, Rapid TV News.
Accelerating sustainable development in Africa requires a collective effort. The Africa Social Impact Summit 2024, held in Nigeria, highlighted the crucial role of public-private collaboration in achieving this goal. Erica John reports on the key takeaways from the summit.
The Africa Social Impact Summit 2024, organized by the Sterling One Foundation, brought together leaders, innovators and change makers to accelerate sustainable development goals across Africa. The theme was Reimagining Progress, a new blueprint for sustainable growth. Discussions covered youth inclusion, healthcare innovation, and sustainable infrastructure. Dr. Fumi Adewara, CEO of Mobi Health International, highlighted telemedicine's role in providing essential medical services to remote areas.
Healthcare is fundamentally a government responsibility, so there's no way you're going to work as a private sector without involvement of the government. I think there's a very good opportunity for the government to partner with the private sector, given that private sector is responsible in Nigeria for more than 70% of healthcare, and so it's a very critical, and that's why this platform is a very great platform for collaboration between the private and public sector.
Dr. Nadia Abana emphasized public-private partnerships for a resilient healthcare economy.
That in Nigeria itself, we have a lot of solutions. We have solutions both from the private sector and the public sector. Everyone's trying to do their bit. So I think what is critically important right now is to emphasize public-private partnerships, to emphasize collaboration, to emphasize trusting a partnership. During the pandemic, we had to try different things, and then after the pandemic is gone, it's almost like we forgot about all the different innovations that are happening on the ground level.
Private sector investment, as noted by the Executive Director of MTN Foundation, drive innovation and sustainable development.
Private sector on its own, by being private sector, is already contributing to job creation, because when you take all the companies in Nigeria, for instance, and take account of the number of staff that they have, then you know that the private sector is contributing. But beyond that, I know that private sector is very keen on innovations, and so private sector has invested in various forms of innovation, especially towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
Honorable Onyibanji Filani, Commissioner for Healthcare in Ekiti State, called for regulatory reforms to enhance private sector involvement in healthcare.
I think there are a number of them, and we're already seeing them in place. I gave an example earlier on of the Nigerian Digital Health Initiative, right, which is being led by the Honorable Minister of State for Health, and which is looking to ensure that we have the enabling environment, the policies in place to be able to absorb and scale all sorts of, technology that can be used in health.
The summit, with over 40 partners and multiple subnational entities, served as a platform for meaningful connections and impactful collaborations, demonstrating a collective commitment to Africa's sustainable development goals. My name is Erica John, reporting for Rapid TV.
You stay watching Rapid TV News tonight. Coming after the break, business, foreign news, and sports. Stay with us.
Hey Stars, get more value for your money with StarTimes Upgrade promo. Recharge 1 month on Nova, Basic or Classic Bouquet and get upgraded to the next bouquet to enjoy exciting top shows like Hidden Truth,
even if something happens between you,
For the Crowd, Celebrity Cook-Off,
okay, viewers.
Now, by the time we use half of it, the food goes sweet well.
Prides of Passion, and more. If you're in Super Bouquet, recharge for 1 month and get an extra 5 days free. La Liga is back on StarTimes. Anticipate, get ready, it's big. This offer starts from June 13th to August 15th, 2024. Recharge now and enhance your viewing satisfaction with the StarTimes Upgrade promo. Terms and conditions apply. StarTimes, entertain your family.
Your car.
Are you serious? You are the most amazing husband in the whole world.
Oh, come on.
I really miss my son.
I know that feeling. He's your small husband.
Can say that again.
Abel, you still haven't told me who the father of that boy is.
My name is Akio Sakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Leo Bliss.
My name is Akava. Go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out
Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
This is Rapid TV. Rapid TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it down.
Leave it like that.
Thanks for being there. Now the rest of the news. The federal government spends $600 million monthly on fuel importation, according to Finance Minister Wale Edun. He attributed the high cost to neighboring countries benefiting from Nigeria's fuel imports, making it difficult to determine the exact amount of fuel consumed internally. Edun explained that the removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Tinubu was necessary to address this issue. He noted that the poorest 40% of the population only benefited from 4% of the subsidy, while others, including neighboring countries, profited from it. The minister emphasized the need for decisive action to tackle the problem which hinders economic growth. He highlighted the government's focus on ensuring food availability and affordability, particularly for vulnerable populations. Edun also clarified recent financial decisions, including the release of funds to state governments and the increase in maximum borrowing percentage aimed at managing debts and supporting economic growth. Godwin Amunde is up next with more business reports.
Hello, welcome to Business News Update. The guidelines for the suspension of customs duty and taxes on imported food items are to commence next week, the federal government announced on Tuesday. In July, the federal government approved a 150-day duty-free window to allow the importation of maize, hushed brown rice, and wheat as part of measures to combat rising food inflation across the country. The initiative was based on the implementation of the Presidential Accelerated and Stabilization Advancement Plan. Speaking at a meeting of head of security agencies in Abuja on Tuesday, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashila Dini, says the implementation of the policy will commence once the guidelines are ready. He explained that the delay experienced in the implementation of the policy was to ensure that the interest of all the stakeholders, including farmers, were considered. The customs boss urged Nigerians to be patient, adding that some of the imported items already in the country will be cleared without duty and taxes. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery and other domestic refineries have yet to start the purchase of crude oil in Naira as directed by President Bola Tinubu. It was that the $20 billion plant and other local refineries in Nigeria had yet to start buying crude oil from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in Naira as instructed by Tinubu last week. The Crude Oil Refiners Association of Nigeria says letters have been written to NNPC by individual refiners requesting crude, but there has been no response yet. The Federal Executive Council recently adopted a proposal by Tinubu to sell crude to the Dangote refinery and other upcoming refineries in Naira. FEC approved that the 450,000 barrels meant for domestic consumption be offered in Naira to Nigerian refineries using the Dangote refinery as a pilot. The exchange rate will be fixed for the duration of this transaction. However, almost 1 week after the announcement, the refiners said they had not heard from the NNPC. The Publicity Secretary of the Crude Oil Refiners Association of Nigeria, H.A. Doko, says the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Authority is expected to kickstart the process. Of course, to wrap it up on business tonight, European stocks were higher on Wednesday as global markets look to rally after a rout on Monday. The pan-European stock 600 was up 1.15% at 1:06 p.m. London time, with most regional bourses and sectors gaining. Autos added 1.58%, while bank stocks rose 2.5%. Regional market has soared since sharp global market declines on Monday. On Tuesday, European opened higher but turned lower later in a choppy trading session. However, Wall Street's rebound on Tuesday, which broke a 3 stretch of losses, is helping to lift global sentiment. Asia Pacific markets were up overnight, while U.S. stock futures were higher on Tuesday evening. And that's it on Business News Update. My name is Godwin Amunde. Rapid Television News continues. Good evening.
And now foreign news. Hamas has named Yahya Sinwar, the alleged mastermind of the October 7 attack on Israel, as its new leader, fueling regional tensions as the Gaza war enters its 11th month. Sinwar's appointment has angered Israel, which has called for his elimination. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz said Sinwar's promotion is a compelling reason to swiftly eliminate him and wipe this vile organization off the face of the earth, unquote. Sinwar has been Hamas's leader in Gaza since 2017 and has been in hiding since the October 7 attack. His appointment is seen as a message that Hamas will continue its path of resistance. Analysts believe Sinwar is more reluctant to agree to a ceasefire than his predecessor, Ismail Haniyeh, making a ceasefire deal even less likely. The Gaza war has already drawn in Iran-backed militants in Syria, Lebanon, Iraq and Yemen. The conflict has resulted in significant loss of lives, with at least 39,677 people killed in Gaza, according to the Hamas-run territory's health ministry. Israel has also suffered significant losses, with 1,198 people killed in the October 7 attack. The international community is urging both sides to avoid an escalation, with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken calling for an immediate ceasefire. Arthur Brooks is on standby with more news from the foreign scene.
Good evening. Welcome to the international news. Here are our top stories. First to the United Nations, where U.S. Ambassador Jeffrey Prescott said Wednesday U.S. would provide $414 million in humanitarian assistance for the Democratic Republic of Congo, where 25 million people need aid. Prescott, ambassador to the UN Agency for Food and Agriculture, told reporters a significant amount of that money would go to the United Nations agencies and aid groups providing urgent food assistance, healthcare and nutrition support, shelter, water, sanitation and hygiene. Congo's army has been battling M23 insurgents since 2022, and renewed fighting in the country's east has driven more than 1.7 million people from their homes, according to UN estimates. A UN aid appeal for $2.6 billion for DRC this year is only one-third funded. The World Health Organization warned that more than 1 million children are at risk from acute malnutrition in Congo. The US will provide $10 million for health assistance and donate 50,000 Mpox vaccines, Prescott said. The current monkeypox outbreak in Congo has already seen about 27,000 cases and claimed more than 1,100 lives, most of them children, since the beginning of 2023. Now to Johannesburg, where South Africa is moving ahead with implementation of the National Health Insurance NHI bill. President Cyril Ramaphosa said, despite strong opposition, the NHI aims to provide universal coverage through a major overhaul of South Africa's two-tier system. Ramaphosa signed the bill right before the May election, in which his ANC party lost its parliamentary majority. Ramaphosa said in a speech Tuesday, "We highlighted the social and economic value of affordable, accessible, quality healthcare available to all South Africans." Speaking on Tuesday, Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi said the sections of the bill will be implemented immediately. The legislation will limit the role of private medical insurance and create a new public fund to provide free access for citizens and set prices that private healthcare suppliers can charge for NHI-funded benefits. Supporters call it a generational change to reverse inequality dating back to the apartheid era. One opponent of the bill is the pro-business DA party, which has now joined the ANC in government. Motsoaledi said the bill would be implemented in phases over years and acknowledged that legal challenges could delay its rollout. Tim Walz, the newly selected vice president to US presidential candidate Kamala Harris, exposed his rural roots and said Donald Trump would take the US backwards as he appeared for the first time as Kamala Harris's running mate at a rowdy Democratic Party rally. The Minnesota governor spoke in front of thousands of supporters just hours after he was announced as Ms. Harris's pick for the role. The Trump campaign, meanwhile, attacked Mr. Walz as a dangerously liberal extremist. The 60-year-old is billed as someone who could win back rural and working-class voters who have gravitated to Donald Trump in crucial Midwestern states. Kamala Harris introducing her running mate as a fighter for the middle class, a patriot. The pair mostly pitched themselves as defenders of individual freedoms, including on abortion rights and safety from gun violence. They will speak at the Democratic National Convention, which runs from 19th to 22nd of August in Chicago. Mr. Walz is a native of Nebraska and the son of a school administrator. He grew up farming and hunting and served in the Army National Guard for 24 years after joining aged 17. The young Mr. Walz also taught secondary school pupils, first for a year in China. His wife, Gwen Whipple, is a fellow teacher. And thanks for watching. Have a very pleasant evening. I am Arthur James Brooks.
Up next is our entertainment segment.
Congratulations are in order as Nigerian singer Joshua Inyezo, best known as Solid Star, announces his engagement to his fiancée. The singer, who opened up about his ordeal with drug addiction earlier this year, made the announcement on his official Instagram page. He shared a photo of him holding hands with his fiancée while she wore her engagement ring. The singer and songwriter also shared a faceless selfie of her, concealing her identity. His fans and followers flooded the comment section with congratulatory messages. Internationally acclaimed South African actress Connie Chiume has died at the age of 72. Connie Chiume, who was best known for her roles in Black Panther and Wakanda Forever, died on Tuesday at Garden City Hospital. In a public statement on Tuesday, her family announced the passing of the award-winning actress Connie Chiume and said they will provide details later while asking for privacy at such a critical time. The late actress gained fame through her many on-screen characters in popular TV shows such as Mololo Hadi, Zone 14, Yizo Yizo, Rhythm City, Housekeepers, Grassroots, and the Marvel movie Black Panther. She recently starred in the hit series Gomorrah and featured in Beyoncé's film Black is King. And that's that for today on Entertainment News. I am Barnabas Sandra. The news continues.
Now sports. Nigeria's Tobi Amuso has made a strong start to her Paris Olympic campaign, winning her heat in the women's 100-meter hurdles with a time of 12.49 seconds. Amuso and the world record holder dominated the field, leading from start to finish and qualifying for the semi-finals. She was followed by America's Alicia Johnson in second place with a time of 12.61 seconds and Jamaica's Janik Brown in third with a time of 12.84 seconds. Amuso is among the favorites to win the gold medal, but she will face stiff competition from a strong field that includes the Bahamas' Devine Charlton, USA's Alicia Johnson, world champion Danielle Williams, and reigning Olympic champion Yasmin Camacho, Queen of Puerto Rico. The semi-finals will take place on Friday, August 9, with the final scheduled for Saturday, August 10. This is Amuso's third consecutive Olympic Games, and she has been in great form leading up to the Paris Olympics, setting a season's best and world lead time of 12.40 seconds in May. She has also won several titles this season, including the African Games and African Championships. Amuso will be looking to build on her strong start and make it to the final, where she can contend for an Olympic gold medal. Annette Echikunwoke, a former Nigerian hammer thrower, has won a silver medal for the United States at the Paris Olympics. With the season's best throw of 75.48 meters, Echikunwoke finished behind Canada's Cameron Rogers, who took gold with a throw of 76.79 meters. This marks Echikunwoke's first Olympic medal and a notable achievement in her first Olympic outing. Echikunwoke's journey to this medal has been marked by controversy. She initially opted to represent Nigeria in 2020 but was disqualified from competing at the Tokyo Olympics for missing competition test. She then switched allegiance back to the United States. Echikunwoke has accused the Athletics Federation of Nigeria of negligence, claiming they failed to set up testing despite her providing her whereabouts, information multiple times. Echikunwoke's silver medal is a testament to her perseverance and talent. She holds both the Nigerian and African records in the hammer throw with a mark of 75.49 meters. And now to other sports stories. Chelsea have abandoned their pursuit of Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, switching their focus to Atletico Madrid's Samu Omorodion. The Blues had been in talks with Napoli for several weeks, discussing a potential swap deal involving Romelu Lukaku and a significant cash sum. However, negotiations proved complicated and slow, causing anxiety in Campania. Napoli remain keen on signing Lukaku, regardless of Osimhen's situation, as they aim to satisfy new coach Antonio Conte. However, they need to sell Osimhen before investing in a new centre-forward. Chelsea's decision to move away from Osimhen has opened the door for other suitors, including Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal, who may revive their interest. Osimhen is also attracting interest from Saudi Arabia, but the 25-year-old is reportedly unenthusiastic about the prospect. Chelsea, meanwhile, are pushing to agree a deal for Morodion as they seek to bolster the attacking options. The transfer saga continues with Osimhen's future still uncertain. And that concludes details of the news tonight. Before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. Nigerians continue end bad governance protest march in Oyo and Rivers states. Southeast lawmakers petition IGP over Igbo Must Go campaign in Lagos. Nigeria spends $600 million on fuel importation monthly. Hamas names alleged October 7 mastermind as new leader. We also told you that Toby Amoson has qualified for 100 meters hurdle semis at Paris Olympics. And that's the size of our package tonight. My name is Ugochukwu Madumere. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more interesting content to Rapid Television tonight. Good evening.
It is in the endless poetry of Nigerian life, joyful, frustrating, sad, exciting. It's a mix of colors, imitating the breathtaking tapestry of life. It's our defiance of fear and our almost defiant, nearly arrogant presence in the galleries of the distinguished. It is these everyday people creating timeless, priceless art, carving spectacle, crafting history. It is resilience woven into the fabric that we are made of, and we wear. Etu, Ashoke, Akwete, Kura. Greatness, the Nigerian spirit. That thing about us that all recognize and still cannot find the right words to describe. Great is Nigerian. Greatness is when Toby Amushon does the 100 meters hurdles in 12.12 seconds and a stunned world held its breath. Greatness is the chicken scratch guitar chords that bewitched the world. A new beat, Afrobeat, from Fela and now to Burna Boy, to Wizkid and Davido. It is the earthy Afro-pop of Asha. It's the compelling, beguiling Nigerian R&B of Tiwa and Teni, and the alternative sounds of Thames, Johnny Drill and Chike. Greatness is how our phenomenal artists are selling out arenas both home and abroad with tens of thousands of people showing up to